Okay then, if you think so, then I have to go with you both. Okay, so 2 points are over now. Let's discuss the third one, the additional staff requirement. Well, here I would like to say Supriyo sir is always looked to get things done in smaller budgets. He was not the one in the favor of having big investments and lesser outputs against it. He always remained low key for all financial matters and always went with lesser investments and gathered more output simply due to his planned strategies, which made it big success in ACCS. He is famous for this thing in campus, and that is why we all look for his opinions to get things done when it comes to any financial matter. And he used to help us in that with his big heart. So coming to the staff requirement for the extension part of chemistry lab, well, I can say the way I know him, he must have thought of all duties, the existing and the additional all together. And then, keeping all people and their skills in mind with respect to required time at work, he must have given the requirement of 3 instead of 9. So he added that work with existing staff to make them more busy by ensuring that they would go home on time, plus with not to burden them more. So in a way, he managed to make them fully busy within the official timings. I know him. He hardly made them wait till late, whereas he used to sit for longer durations. He never kept other staff for this long at working hours. So I guess this point too looks genuine for me. I guess all three things are over now, but the way I know, I have one query. What is that, Pratap? Well, Mahendra, from last 3 years he made himself busy in chemistry research work, which is outside world subject, not which comes in any academical purpose or limits. He went busy in that research work at times. The way I know, even he spent his off days on it, maybe whole day itself. So that may have caused these behavioral changes in him. I recollect he used to sit in front of me for a discussion of any work, but would remain busy in his own world of his mind, and that I have noticed from last 2-3 years now. In current times, he even used our chemistry lab for certain of his experiments. Well, with official permissions, of course. But the way I recollect, yes, I saw the behavioral changes due to this matter within him. I know him from the ages now, and due to it, I could find this change very easily. Shripad, what you say? Have you experienced the same what I am talking about here? Yes, sir. Me too recollect now the same thing. Yes, the research work, which took him apart from us. He used to travel various cities to attend those seminars, many of which he himself headed for his research work. So in a way, that may have been the reason to find a change in his behavior, sir. Yes, it is possible in big ways. Okay, people. So yes, Shripad's 3 points can be scrutinized again if we find any necessity in future. Well, I guess Pratap shall now reveal his findings in front of us. Well, Mahendra, yes, I was waiting for my turn. Well, I took the responsibility of getting required information from Supriyo sir's family members. Well, I went to the Kolkata for a week to get hold of all this. I met 2 persons from his family, his wife and his daughter. As all of us know, Supriyo sir is having these 2 members as his family only. So I went to meet his wife at his native home in Vardhaman at Kolkata. I did narrated her about his resignation matter, and she said when she was taken aback by Supriyo sir's this decision of resignation. It was a surprise for herself too regarding this. So I frankly told her that even we all here are surprised by it, and hence I have come there to meet her secretly So these meeting related things shall not be shared with Supriyo sir. She agreed to it first and itself. During the discussion, I found out even she was eager to know whether any ACCS related matter or what. He gave that resign. But I have shown the letter of resignation to her, citing the personal life reason behind this resignation. So then I asked her about what has happened in his personal life. Obviously, if she permits me to have a look at it. But to my surprise, there is nothing such happening in his personal life as such. All things are on track, like all these 30 years now. No issues, nothing. I got terribly surprised by it. And I asked her again, where is there any problem which is haunting him personally? She said no, as far as she knows. But yes, there is a room if he personally have any issues of haunting of his own. Even she wasn't sure about it. So he confirmed one thing, that his wife doesn't know anything about it. And maybe Supriyo sir is having any personal issues of his own. I then asked her whether I could meet their daughter or not. She was okay for it. Luckily it was a weekend time. So their daughter come back there from Delhi for 2 days holiday time. We all three then sat together and the discussion was almost the same. When she doesn't knew anything about it. Rather she got worried about his father for any wrongdoing or something. But I assured her that from ACCS point of view, there is no issue for Supriyo sir. So she then got relaxed. In the end, they both got worried. But I told them nothing to worry, as I am finding the real reason of resignation on war footing. So they got assured with this. Anyways, I have to give them a phone call periodically for any update from my side. So the final conclusion is, when his own family doesn't know anything, all the financial matters are so good within this family. Everything is perfect as per last 30 years routine. So it was a huge surprise for me in the end to come back empty-handed from all this. I was so shocked in the end. Well, Pratap, at least you tried hard from your side. And now we have come to know that when his own family doesn't know anything about him. So we can now move further. Well, Mahendra, I want to add something. While coming back, one thing struck to my mind to inquire at his city address, where he is currently living now. So I inquired to find one of my friend's friend stays there and he is his neighbor. So I went to him, gave him thorough idea to get all information from him. He told he hardly seen Supriyo sir ever in the common areas or even society functions for large part. He used to stay in closed doors, maybe for his research work or something. So even the society members don't know about him much. What they know about him is a helpful man in needy hours, full of ideas and solutions, big-hearted person with issueless life to live. So his neighbors are very much happy with him and he is well respected in that circle, something which we all know about him. The only part was he used to stay largely behind the closed doors, which was strange for all of them. The only time they all saw his flat when he conducted a routine yearly puja at his home, when his family members arrived for that part to attend. They all saw a very neat and clean accommodation of his, books everywhere, and you can see a life only around the study table and his lamp. Even his servant knows only one thing, that Sahab spends most of his time in SCCS in weekdays and spends whole weekend on his study table for his research work only. They all never saw him going to any relative's place or something, apart from a yearly trip to Vardhaman, Kolkata to meet his family for 2 weeks at the time of summer holidays. So there too I noticed no one knows his story fully, as his whole time went in his research work only. Well, sir, have you asked for any visitors list or something? Well, Shripad, very few people used to meet him at his place. Basically, he was a loner who spent most of his time indoors in his research work only. So there also I failed to find something, and in a way I concluded that for people like Supriyo sir, it is very hard to find about what they do in life as such, as most of the things run in their own mind only, and you need to sit with him to know about his mind, which is almost impossible considering the number of important duties he was carrying with him. So that's it. I rest my case over here. Anything to ask, gentlemen? No, sir. I guess all things are clear with your findings. So now, this leads us to hear Mahendra sir's findings now. Mahendra sir, over to you all. Yes, Shripad, very well. Pratap, as I told you over phone, the freedom word in that resignation letter gave us few numbers within it. And if we see it as a telephone number, then it leads us to Gujarat-based chemical factory. As I told you over the phone, this factory is run by a local gangster with all kinds of shady works behind it. 13 months back, one big explosion happened in one of the unit of it and 13 people got died. He instantly went underground and activated his high-oiled network. Police eventually got hold of him and got him jailed, but he came out within 3 months itself, and that factory too started functioning within 6 months or so. All is due to his well-oiled network. He do have very prestigious contacts here too in our city, so he has made it big with time to make good fortunes for himself. So that sums it all. On the other hand, the local story too is interesting, as nobody talks about his chemical factory dealings. Not a single person, Pratap. So that sums about his fear and clout in that area. Luckily, I got a contact with well-known police official over there, and then he told that there's a lot of fear in local people for him and his factory and his gang. He told he even finished his enemies by drawing them in the concentrated chemical drums for days and used it too in his products. So the locals say there is a blood of humans running in his products. He exports those products to various states rather than dealing them locally. Maybe it is a dummy front to hide his other works, to smuggle those things along with those products. So this is the history of it. I further inquired about his export deals to various states, but surprisingly, he doesn't deals in our state. And that is what more shocking for me to establish any connections with ACCS campus. And I was back to the dead end again. I then took the help of Police Commissioner of Gujarat to find call details records of him, the CDRs you can say. I got it within weeks time. But there too I found very little clue with the people of the city. Many of them are politicians, but none of our use. No one is there from ACCS campus too. So this one here, back to the dead end again. I have brought those CDR lists with me for you people. I have already made 3 copies of it for all of us. So you people please go through it. If at all you can find something important clue. I being an outsider don't have thorough contact list of ACCS officials. So I have limitations at it. So I thought maybe this help you people better than me. So here are the list. Well, one thing is my mind now. What is that, Mahendra sir? Please share it without any doubt. Well, Shripad, can we take out CDR details of Supriyo sir? Well, this may look harsh, but this can be the closest thing we could get rather than roaming here and there. Pratap, please see for it if possible. It may look rude for you all, but I guess this is the only closest option which is remaining with us now. No further thing. I am recommending this because after getting Supriyo sir's CDR details, we can then match these Gujarat CDR details with it to find any distant clue if it exists. Pratap, is it possible for you to have a word with Vivian and to get hold of these details? This way only we can crack it.